So right now, 3,600 acres on the 3rd of August, 2010.
I want to emphasize that the Oregon Department of Forestry has the responsibility of protecting private forest lands. And probably many of you in this room are forest landowners, and it's your support, it's your dollars that help us suppress fires such as this one. The private lands on that map are the white lands, and we have a very unique system here in Central Oregon. Not necessarily unique, but I'd say it's as far advanced as any other part of the country in terms of interagency cooperation. So that's all I've got for now, unless anybody has any questions. Sure.
Yes, sir. The computers and all that is fine. Mm-hmm. But when we're told to evacuate, as I was, we do what we're told to do. Listen to the radio for instructions. And my issue is not with the firefighters, people fighting the fire. I think they're doing an admirable job. My issue is with the news media. I'm looking on the radio trying to find instructions of what to do with the status of the fire. And all I've got is Laura Schlesinger telling me about some disgruntled boyfriend. I need that information. And not every hour and a half. I need it almost constantly. This means this is our livelihood. This is our home. We want to know what's going on. Not every 2 or 3 hours.
Oh, plus
I
it's hard.
certainly understand your concern. If I were in the same situation, I feel the exact same way. You know, I think that having the incident management team here can help because it brings more folks, makes more folks available to get information out to the news media on a more regular basis, more up-to-date basis, and things like that. You know, we can't, as government agencies, we can't control what the media outlets do, but we can certainly provide them with the information that they need to get to you folks.
This is the area known as Monroe's Cascade. Is that correct? Okay, so right now, yeah, we have a pretty good solid line here, and with current and predicted weather, most of the afternoon winds come out of the northwest and west. So that's the way the fire has spread. So that's the primary spread direction. Now, if for some reason we get a wind shift, that's going to put some pressure on this northern line here. And yes, we could, you know, there's a slight, I would say very slight possibility something could reach out that way, but we don't anticipate that with the predicted weather. It's supposed to be pretty much what we've seen yesterday and today, late afternoon winds gust to 15 miles an hour. So that's what's given us the problems here on the south side.
Oh, how many are evacuating? Okay, I'm sorry. So the last question was, by a gentleman back here.
My question was, evacuating from the Monroe's Cascade area,
What should you do?
You can't predict which way the fire is going to shift or spot, but wait another day or just...
Okay, you're asking me for answers, and you're right, I can't predict what can happen. This is what I can tell you. I just came from out there, from just exactly what we were just being pointed out to us. And it does look exactly like Mark says. It looks pretty good. And although it's burning a little bit to the south there, which I believe is what Mark said. The evacuation, I'm going to speak to that just a little bit. We have 3 different levels: level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 is the good news for the most part. That is, we're generally just going to give you a little educational information and let you know that there's a fire out there, and we're a little nervous about it. So level 2. Level 2 is saying we're very nervous. Specifically me, okay? Because I'm listening to these fire guys who, by the way, are very good at what they do. And I've been close with them on every fire that's been out here over the last 15 years, and they're very good at what they do. And I've learned a lot from them, and I listen, and I listen, and I listen. And that doesn't mean I don't get nervous, okay? But it is my responsibility in the position that I'm in, assigned by the Sheriff Glenn, that to decide on evacuation or level 2 or level 3. So level 2 is what we were at last night. We did a little level 3 right there on Delicious Road. Okay, so Delicious Road or Delicious Avenue. Anyway, so some of you are from Delicious, right? Okay. Some of that was, and I've got to be straight up with you, some of that was a little premature, but it ended up being a good thing. We may have done it just a little soon, but because of the operational plans, it ended up, we felt, being a good thing. Because you had been real nervous last night if you were in your homes. And there's a lot of fire apparatus out there. So there's a lot of reasons, not just the fire, of why we want people out of there to keep you all safe. And the structural crews that Mark and George talked about, I just drove around out there. There are stations all over out there, and I'm sure Mark talked about that. And they're out there ready to jump on the smallest minute particle that has any red to it. And they're very good at what they do. And I've seen what they're able to do in past years there at Blackview. So what I just drove around out there, I feel pretty good about what I'm seeing from the structural team. Now, level 3 is evacuation. Now, I'm sure there's a hand going to go up and say, is that absolute mandatory, or are you going to take me to jail if I don't evacuate? Somebody want me to answer that? Okay. The answer is probably not. But what you got to understand is this: when we do evacuation level 3, we're in a hurry. My people that are doing that evacuation aren't going to stand there and fight you. They're not going to stand there and argue with you. But there are certain conditions which I'll get to. But they're simply going to ask you for your full name, your date of birth, and who your dentist is. Okay? And then they're going to move on. And I seriously mean that. Dentists are our best way of determining who you are if things go really wrong. What we also look for is physical ability. So if you're physically handicapped and to a degree that we're uncomfortable with leaving you, we're going to probably take you with us. Okay? That doesn't mean you're going to jail. We're just going to make you safe. Okay? Now, the same thing goes if you're mentally incapacitated or if somebody in the house is. Now, the other thing is if you have children and you decide to stay, we're going to probably take your children. We're not going to take them and take them to jail. We're going to put them in a safe place. If you have friends and family for us to take them to, that's where we'll take them. Okay? So, is that enough conversation about that? If you get real indignant in our face, and we're trying to do what we got to do, but I don't expect that's going to happen because, quite honestly, in the last 20 plus years, we've only had one guy run from us, and he swam the river and kind of made an issue out of himself. One of our night shift deputies is out here. He was out here actually last night. I didn't leave till well after midnight, and the sheriff also. So we were very concerned about what we were seeing last night and about the actions that we took. So what we did is our night patrol, we beefed it up a little bit, and we don't have an army out here, keeping your home safe and from burglars coming in and getting into your places. This is what I will say. If you go home If somebody's broke into your house, I assure you that we will pull out